Welcome to another video in a series about business and politics in Poland. This time, not in Poland. We're in Czechia, Prague, with Vaclav Nekvapil, the managing partner of the CEC Prague office. Hi, Vaclav.
Hi.
After we got the initial information from Marek Matraszek about the situation in Poland, we're going to be doing a series about all the countries in the region. And of course, Czechia was first on our list. So I wanted to ask you about a couple of basic facts of the pandemic situation in Czechia. First of all, what are the restrictions in place, and are they going to get tighter?
So the restrictions were introduced in mid-March, as probably gradually in all countries of Europe. I think Czechia was a little faster in the obligation to cover a face with mask or scarf or some kind of protective measure. So this was in that sense we were one of the first countries, but otherwise closing down shops and non-essential movement of people on public spaces was restricted in mid-March, and it's been already 3 weeks of this kind of restrictions, and it seems that the increase of cases of COVID-19 is still going up, but people are pretty disciplined and respect those measures.
And is the government, do you know of any plans of the government to impose further restrictions? Right now in Poland, we're talking about the possibility and limitations of businesses further.
No, the government made very strict restrictions in the very beginning, in the time where the UK, Germany, Poland, Slovakia had introduced less restrictive restrictions, and now the government is talking about rather about relaxing some of those rules, such as opening certain types of shops, and for the whole time of this quarantine, and it will go even further. The priority of the government is not to stop the economy and not to stop free circulation over the borders for goods, not for people.
Exactly. And in terms of the economy, I wanted to ask, because the governmental plan, the 8th package in Poland, was just passed 3 days ago, signed by the president. In Poland, the government is providing 212 billion of the Polish currency, zloty. And I wanted to ask, what are the government's plans in the Czech Republic?
The government, in the first phase, the government focused on state guarantees of loans for small and medium-sized enterprises, which was like it has been the work of last 2-3 weeks of the government. But yesterday, the government opened this program for application, or the government, a state-owned bank, opened this program for application, and within 3 hours, the first budget was basically distributed, but that was fulfilled, the quota. And right the same afternoon, so it was yesterday, the government reopened the program with 3 times more money. But this is just loans. The other measure which was approved by the government, that should go through the parliament in speeding pace next week, is a kind of compensation for self-employed people and craftsmen of approximately 900 euros per person per month during but this is linked with the situation with the emergency situation declared by the government, which was prolonged until the end of April. So for these 2 months, this is kind of immediate help. And of course, there are a lot of criticism from many sides, including some businesses, that it's too complicated for many craftsmen to prove that they are entitled for such a help. But so the Ministry of Finance, which is responsible for this kind of subsidy, is now relaxing some rules. So these are the 2 main important measures which are being implemented right now.
Well, what about the general reaction of big businesses? Because in Poland, they basically all criticized that the government's measures were not enough, and the government is already planning a second package.
The businesses are not heavily criticizing that. The businesses, in the same time, know that they will be the ones who will pay for these measures. So they, what small and medium-sized enterprises are criticizing is the administrative complexity of the process. And for the big business, they are talking to government about they are understanding the situation, but what make a lot of noise on the side of business was when the chief of emergency emergency headquarters of the government said that the borders might be closed for 2 years. That provoked a big backlash in business, that this is something which is definitely not serving the purpose.
And in terms of backlash, just to finish, I wanted to ask about the general standing of the government, because the governments in the United Kingdom, France, Spain, they were criticized for their reaction, and they are being criticized for their reaction. What are the societal climate in Czechia?
The main point of criticism across the whole society, politics, business, everything was the incapacity of the government to be prepared for such a situation. That we have a state, every state has a state agency for protection, and this was not equipped with facial masks, especially for doctors, etc. And even in the beginning of this crisis, the government was warned from many sides. Even the Minister of Health said that they are ready, and in the end, it proved that they are not. And in the moment when the government obliged all citizens to wear protective masks, the government itself was not capable to supply hospitals and the social services with these masks. So this was the main point of criticism, and people started to produce the masks themselves and supply their neighboring hospitals. So it provoked a huge wave of solidarity among the whole society, and this solidarity basically speaks for what the government. For what the main point of criticism is against the government.
Thank you, Václav. I think the situation is similar in Poland here in terms of solidarity and mask production and preparedness. And we'll check in the coming week if it's the same in the whole region. Thank you very much, Václav.
Thank you. Goodbye.